Hello, everyone. This is Jeff Kirby, the Philly member customer with JMK Costuming and Show Design. Night 2, Allentown, fantastic. What a weekend for DCI. I've never seen a more fully packed display of talent and excellence from all corps in my years going to Allentown. Every corps, they gave it all they had, and it was just incredible. Most weekends I go up there, there are a number of corps who, not so great. You're waiting for the next quarter to come on. This year, you were engaged with so many of the shows, and just a fantastic weekend. Things got shaken up. We're going into the final week of competition. Playoffs start on Thursday in Indianapolis. Then we've got Friday, and then, of course, the championship with the final 12 on Saturday night. So the points got shaken up a bit. Friday night, Blue Coats, second highest score in Allentown history. And DCI has been going to Allentown forever. So it was a big night for the Blue Coats. But when you hear these points, you're going to see what a battle is actually happening at the top. And let's go through these now, and then we're going to talk about last night's show. So right now, Blue Coats stand in first place with 96.475 points. Boston Crusaders, who performed last night, 96.37 points. So it's only a tenth of a point right now, separating first and second place. Santa Clara Vanguard went up. They're now in third with 95.4 points. I think deservedly so they moved up. They bumped Blue Devils down. Now, we talked about Blue Devils yesterday. I still think Blue Devils have the best opening and probably the best closer. But they're not doing the Blue Devil stuff in between. And I think that's hurting them. They went down. They got knocked down to fourth. They're 94.65 points. And then Phantom's on their heels. And I said this yesterday. I think Phantom can take out Blue Devils. They're at 93.8 points. I think they deserved a higher score than that Friday night. But I do think I still think they could take out Blue Devils. And Blue Devils may be seeing a fifth place this year. Sixth place, Carolina Crown, who everybody was on their feet last night for Carolina Crown, long before the show was over. An incredible sound, an incredible show. I can't say enough about what I saw last night with Carolina Crown, and that was not even I was excited to listen to Carolina Crown, but I wasn't. It wasn't one of the shows I was like starving to see. But man, they changed my mind last night, and we'll get to that. So they're in sixth with 93.45. I think a lot of people around me last night agree with what I'm about to say. They deserve more points last night than what they received. Mandarins, seventh. They seem to be stuck in that spot with 91.8 points. And then the Cavaliers, they're up at 89.75 points. I think they're going to give Mandarins a run for their money this year. It's a great year for the Cavaliers. Great year for the Cavaliers. Troopers in ninth. 89.2 points. Of course, they added the cello player Friday night, which added a huge emotional element to their show. We discussed the Troopers yesterday. I do want to add to this with the Troopers that I didn't say yesterday. During the ballad and the cello, the color guard came out with I'm just going to call them capes, kind of ponchos. With kind of the different colors of the sunset and the emotion that provoked. And this is what I talk about with effect. Effect is you want to provoke emotion. You want people to feel what you're trying to communicate. And during that ballad between the cello and the color guard coming out with these different colors, bringing the sunset onto the field, it was goosebumps. It was fantastic. Again, I just wish that they had utilized a better presentation reveal of the cello because that was a part that got hyped up like the day before. They brought her back from 3 seasons ago when they did the oil routine, and she was up. It had to be well over 20 feet up in the air playing this cello on a little platform. It was unreal. It was daredevil work, and I don't know how she did it. And it was every show. Anyway, 10th place Blue Stars, 89.15. So they're right on the Troopers' heels. I don't agree with that. We talked about this yesterday. Not a big fan of the Blue Star show, but the sound that they are putting out, and they're very tight, and that's what they're getting judged on, right? It's the talent of the performers, and they are doing their job with what they're given. I do not like the show, but man, they play so well. You want to follow the show anyway because they're that good musically. Blue Knights, which if you've been following me, this has been my show all year long until Friday night. Now Phantom Regiment, man. Blue Knights in 11th, so I think they're going to get that top. I really think they can get top 10. I think they could take out the Blue Stars. They just have to give it all they've got all week, and push and push and push, and just like I said yesterday, leave it all out on the field in rehearsals and in competition. They're at 87.225 points right now, so they've got a little under 2 points to make up for to get into that top 10. But man, what a big year for Blue Knights, and that's going to elevate them going into next year. So again, Blue Knights, thank you, kudos, and best of luck the rest of the week. And then the Colts round out the top 12, 86.7. I want to special mention at the cusp of the top 12, Spirit of Atlanta, who won me over last night. When you see that show live, it's a really good show, really good sound, really good performance. I hope Spirit of Atlanta knocks off the Colts and gets into that top 12. And then the Scouts, 84.638 points. So you've got Spirit of Atlanta and Madison Scouts on the cusp of knocking out the Colts for that final spot come Saturday night. Now let's talk about Allentown. Night 2, man, I told you how great Night 1 was. Night 2 was just as great. This year, the talent and performance with all the chorus was so good that both nights were stacked. It's usually you're looking for, all right, which night's going to be the better night, Friday or Saturday night. And this year, they were right here with each other. There wasn't a night better than the other. Just greatness Friday and Saturday night. So let's get into last night in order of performance. First, we saw Genesis. I mean, you were involved with the show. Not the greatest show, but they did, again, I mean, I said this yesterday. What are these kids drinking this year? They all sound great. No chorus sounds empty anywhere in any section. Of course, you've got your power chorus at the top, like what we heard with Carolina Crown last night. But I mean, Genesis was there. They were holding their own. And it's just show development could have been a lot more. They did a kaleidoscope and routine presentation. And I mentioned this a couple weeks ago, too. There's so much more they could have done with this show. They kept using the song, These Are a Few of My Favorite Things. I still don't understand the concept of that. However, the way that they threaded the melody of that song in throughout was really nice. So I like the way they use the song. I just don't understand the use of the song. I think with costuming, they could have done a lot more. It was very dark with the highlighted colors. I think they should have went full bore color change and utilizing the shapes and, like you're looking through a kaleidoscope. Genesis with production left a lot off the table. But again, I can't say it enough how great the performers were. with every core, including Genesis. Crossman, much better in person than you're watching on TV with Flow Marching. Very strong sound, and I was very disappointed by their points last night. I thought they deserved a lot more. It's called crosswalking. So what they do is they set up a crosswalk across the field, and as the show develops, they're crossing the street, which I really like that concept. My brain's going when I'm watching the shows. I think they could have used a Beatles moment with Abbey Road. The famous album cover. That's got to be the most famous crosswalking scene, right, in pop culture. So I think they left something off the table with that concept. I think that really would have got the crowd. The crowd was into it because they've got some grooves going with their show that the people really enjoy, including myself. I was into them musically, but I think had they brought a Beatles element into it, I think that as far as relation with audience, I think that would have heightened their show a bit. The Academy, I bashed their umbrella scene maybe last week. I didn't bash the umbrellas. The umbrellas are beautiful. What they're doing with the umbrellas at the beginning of the show, fantastic. It sets an incredible image watching this down on the field. And then they snap their umbrellas section by section to close them. And it's just weird how, when that happens, how much the field opens up from watching from the front. So their use of umbrella at the beginning, excellent. What I bashed them on was the music that they're playing later on with their umbrella feature. I kind of want to take that back a little bit. I still think had they used the umbrellas during a ballad with a horn, I think you would give that mysterious, dark feel. It would be such a communication visually to the audience that would impact them emotionally. Excuse me. Had they been using the umbrellas during a ballad, and just let those things float in the air and just really create mystery and darkness. It's London fog. That being said, what they are doing with the umbrellas at the point that they're using them with the front ensemble feature, and then there's a bit of a percussive feature as well that they're using with. It looks great. It looks fantastic. And again, seeing it in person elevates your thoughts on that. I do think it should be with a ballad with a horn. But again, what they're doing, where they're using it at, fantastic. It looks great. The Academy, they won me over 100% last night. Really good show, really good sound. I was submerged in the show the whole time. I was engaged the entire show. They had me. I loved it. So thank you. You changed my mind last night about your show. Spirit of Atlanta, incredible. I was not expecting that. Your sound is it's great. Your sound is great. I want you in the top 12. You deserve to be in the top 12. The show develops pretty well. Again, you get that TV versus live dynamic, and you proved me wrong last night. I thank you. Entertained from beginning to end. Great sound, and I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing you Saturday night. Push. That's all I could say. You're almost there. And if you want it bad enough, you'll be playing Saturday night. Spirit of Atlanta. Great job. Thank you. Madison Scouts. It was real cool. I sat next to parents of one of their lead color guard. Their son, he was center stage flipping these rifles way up, and so I was having some good conversations with this kid's parents. Best of luck to you. I don't know your name, but Rifleman, Madison Scouts, yeah, great job, and best of luck the rest of the way. Madison Scouts, this might be my favorite coloring on the field. They had the nicest green uniforms I've ever seen. I don't even know what color green it was, and they played off the orange of the props and the color guard so well. And then your pieces that were highlighted with sequin fabrics, spot on. Those lights were hitting those uniforms really nice last night. Great sound. I love the company front behind the props when you're rolling in, stretching the field. That's a really nice moment. That was a big highlight to your show. There's a lot I could say about your show that I liked. With the lines, crossing the lines, that reminded me of old school DCI drill work. So that was nice to see. That was exciting. You also had the section presentations, the back and forth, which really worked well with your bunched center field. So that was very captivating. Excuse me. But great show. I think you deserve higher points than what you're getting. Can you get the top 12? Maybe. I do not understand the Britney Spears Toxic finale, the ending with your show. Sounds great. I don't understand the direction with that. That your uniforms, whoever decided to go with that green, love it. Absolutely love it. All right, Mandarins. Mandarins, 2 years ago, incredible with Sinnerman. Last year they went New Orleans. This year, was it Shall I Fall or When I Fall? They've got all these towers. The color they're bringing to the field, it's all white uniform. And they've got these like iridescent blue tubes that they use. Stunning to see. And then when they flip them, they turn kind of from a blue to a greenish yellow. And they use them so well. So there's that old saying, you live and die by the prop. And they've got a lot of these. And if anything goes wrong, they're going to get knocked hard. But they're with it. They're with it with these props. The sound, you always expect great sound out of Mandarins, and we got it again last night. Great show. We love the Mandarins. I wish they would go back to the direction they had with Sinnerman. That I'll never forget that show at Allentown 2 years ago. That had the crowd up. I don't know. Long before the show was over, at least. I can't remember if there were more than one standing ovation, but the crowd went nuts. They had those cages with the people. Anyway, go back and watch Sinnerman from Mandarins a couple years ago. That's a direction I wish they need to stick with. But nonetheless, great show, great sound. Thank you. That's really all I could say. Great show. The Cavaliers, I told you a couple weeks ago, much better than last year. Super tight. Dynamically, they were there. I mean, they were provoking emotion, effect. Tight everywhere. Performance. That was a very enjoyable show. Cavaliers. I really don't know what else to say except for congratulations and thank you. And I hope that this is kind of a step to get you back to the top. Really good. Really good. Santa Clara Vanguard. So I liked this show from the start. I was a little, I was trying to get it at first, avant-garde. So it's really just experimentation, and that's exactly what they did, and they do it well. They do it very well, which is why I guess we're seeing them in third place now. Super tight. I think they're in the top two with brass in the brass caption. Well deserved. Off the charts. Horns. Unreal. But with that, and with this weird, I'm going to say it's kind of a weird musical score, right? It's different. But it's entertaining. It's super entertaining, and what they're doing visually just pulls you in even more. They're not just doing things to do them. They're making serious scenes out of these different things. And man, this show has come together so well, so well. I was very entertained, and yeah, you're gonna be top 3, I think. You should be. I don't know why you wouldn't be. Carolina Crown. So they've got these props. I was trying to scale them in size. I had them up to about 24 feet. They might be. They might be a little less than that. Excuse me. But I had them at 24 feet high. These things, larger than life. They take over the field. Everybody wishes they would do more with these props. They did do things with them. They had performers hanging from them. They were pushing them around. Very eerie. I mean, it grabs you visually, and then you add that sound. It was unreal, super powerful, and sorry about the dogs. Super powerful, and man, Carolina Crown had the people on their feet probably 30 to 45 seconds before the show was over. And that was probably the biggest reaction all night. They were kind of old school sound, I want to say, because they were power. It was just power from beginning to end. What they did with the red caped, red dressed character, she just lurked. She just moved slowly around the field, and man, it just added an element. I like it. It was very dark, very eerie, and Carolina Crown, so good. You won me over last night. Thank you. And then we've got the Boston Crusaders. All right, so this is where I get a little confused with the scoring, okay? And I'm going to tell you why. The Boston Crusaders they've got a great show, right? They are a 10th out of first place. The sound is ridiculous. The score is so engaging and fun, and it all makes sense. And they've got this, it's like a circus act. I mean, they went all out performance-wise. What happens is they are taking the risk-reward concept to the max. And it's just performance trick throughout the entire show. They are throwing things everywhere. They are catching things everywhere. They are engaging with each other, performer, musician. They are tossing props to musicians. It's I don't want to call it a circus act because it's DCI. It's not a circus act. But I swear they've pulled some of these people out of Cirque du Soleil. I mean, that's the element of performer we're watching with the Boston Crusaders. That being said, there were a lot of drops last night. With the score, I don't know. If somebody can explain to me why that wouldn't hurt them, why are they only a 10th of a point behind the Blue Coats with all those drops? That's one thing I don't understand. They should have gotten nailed for all that, right? It's like, okay, you tried it, and we're still going to reward you with the points. That being said, the level of showmanship and of show production and musicianship, And I'm not saying it. The color guard up here, I'm going to talk about that in a second. Color guards up here, but they keep running these tricks, all these tricks, and I love that. I want to see risks, but when you failed those risks, I think you should be deducted for that. Anyway, they are a top 2 core. But that was last night. Color guard. Let me talk about that for a second, because I'm not a color guard person. It's not that I don't pay attention to them. It's just I'm more into the brass, I'm into the music, I'm into the drill, and I'm into the storytelling. Color guards are pushing and carrying these shows this year like I've never seen. They've never really caught my eye. With so many of the shows this year, I'm looking at the color guard, accidentally, not on purpose, but I'm looking at the color guard driving these shows. And it could just be the fact that I wasn't looking, maybe even purposely before. I'm not looking at them purposely this year, but they're grabbing my attention so much that they are driving these cores to excellence this year. Everything these color guards are doing this year, they have a point. That it makes sense what they're doing, and they are driving every other element of the show. So I don't know if that's something where all the DCI cores got together and said, "Hey, let's bump up color guard this year." I don't know, but they are doing that, and they are taking these shows to a whole new level with the level of performance and integration and engagement and the design work. And again, the level of performance is, I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do it. I'm watching these people spinning stuff everywhere, throwing it, 15, 20 feet in the air, catching it one-handed. But it's not just, they're doing that while performing. And it's maybe it's just my senses have finally woken up to color guard. But it's incredible to watch. It's incredible how much it's driving and pushing these shows to the next level. Fantastic. So final week of DCI. Thank you to every core who came to Allentown. Unreal show Friday and Saturday night. Crowd was going nuts from Spartans. Spartans, unreal. And I did just read Spartans are going to World Class next year. Awesome. It's so awesome. They're so good, and they need to be there. I think they're going to come in guns blazing from the beginning. If they pick up next year where they're leaving off next year. Spartans, I can't wait to see you next year in World Class. But from Spartans to Boston Crusaders, who finished last night's show, the crowds were loving everything. Everybody was just into everything that was going on. It's just the performances as a whole, much, much higher than I've ever seen. So thank you. Can't wait for Thursday. I guess we have an all day. We start early Thursday, and we're going till late night Thursday with DCI. So I'll be here in the shop working. I've got the TV right here. I'll have Flow Marching going. And we got Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And I can't wait to see who gets that 12 spot. This is what I'm looking for before I go. I want to know who. I can't wait to see who gets that 12 spot. I don't want to say knocks off Colts, because Colts might not get knocked off. 12 spot. Can the Blue Knights pass the Blue Stars at 10? I want them to. I think they can. Cavaliers, if they push, can they catch Mandarins? I think it can be done. And then Phantom Regiment, let's see Phantom in the top 4. I think Blue Devils are going to come down to 5. What a great weekend. Thank you so much. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.